Nobody saw it coming. Not Rasheeda, not Kirk, not even the die-hard fans who followed every messy twist of their saga on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But when Mendeecees stepped into the spotlight and dropped a bombshell that had Rasheeda and Kirk's names written all over it, the entire hip-hop world stopped in its tracks. The setting was supposed to be low-key, a casual sit-down, few cameras, nothing groundbreaking. But Mendeecees had other plans. With one shocking statement, he ripped open wounds that Rasheeda and Kirk thought were long buried. His revelation wasn't just personal, it was devastating, dragging private betrayals into the public eye and sparking chaos across every corner of social media. Twitter timelines blew up instantly. Instagram comments went nuclear. TikTok edits turned the clip into a trending sound. Fans screamed betrayal. Cast members hinted at bigger secrets. And even outsiders jumped in, stunned that Mendeecees would throw gasoline on an already messy fire. Hashtags like #Mendeecees bombshell, #RASHEEDA exposed, and #Kirk in trouble shot to the top in minutes. But here's the wild part. Insiders claim this wasn't just a random outburst. They say Mendeecees knew exactly what he was doing, and that his bombshell might have exposed cracks in Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage that can never be repaired. So what exactly did Mendeecees reveal? And why are fans convinced this was just the beginning of something even more explosive? To understand why Mendeecees' bombshell shook the entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta universe, you have to rewind the clock back through years of betrayals, reconciliations, and the kind of messy drama that made Rasheeda and Kirk Frost household names. Rasheeda and Kirk have been the backbone of the franchise for over a decade. Fans watched them build businesses, raise kids, and survive scandal after scandal. But for every success, there was a shadow. Kirk's cheating scandals, from the infamous paternity drama with Jasmine Washington to his countless denials and half-hearted apologies, turned Rasheeda into the face of forgiveness and Kirk into the poster child for betrayal. Viewers joked that Rasheeda had a PhD in second chances. And every time the couple looked like they were finally healing, another rumor would surface, dragging them right back into the chaos. Meanwhile, Mendeecees carved his own reputation. Known for his roller coaster relationship with Yandy Smith, his prison sentence, and his eventual return to the spotlight, he wasn't exactly a stranger to controversy. But what set him apart was his willingness to speak his mind, even if it meant ruffling feathers. Over the years, fans noticed a quiet tension between him and the Frosts, a kind of subtle shade that never quite boiled over. Until now. The stage was set by a casual gathering, supposedly just a sit-down between cast members to clear the air. Cameras rolled, drinks were poured, and everyone expected the usual reality TV back and forth. But insiders say Mendeecees came in with an agenda. He wasn't there to chit-chat. He was there to detonate. And when he finally dropped his bombshell, jaws hit the floor. He didn't just call out Kirk's history of cheating. That was old news. He went deeper, digging into private moments and exposing secrets that Rasheeda and Kirk had tried to keep under wraps. Some of his claims tied directly into past scandals, but others hinted at betrayals fans never even imagined. By the time he was finished, the entire room was buzzing with shock and the fallout. Immediate. Rasheeda's face reportedly went cold. Her eyes locked on Kirk as if daring him to deny what Mendeecees had just said. Kirk fumbled, tried to laugh it off, but the tension was written all over his body. Other cast members shifted uncomfortably, whispering behind their hands. One insider even claimed a producer mouthed, "Oh my God," the second Mendeecees dropped his line. What made it worse was timing. Rasheeda and Kirk had just spent months publicly claiming they were in a good place. They'd been posting family photos, dropping motivational quotes, and promoting their businesses as if the past was finally behind them. Fans were cautiously starting to believe in their fairy tale again. And then, boom, Mendeecees ripped open the scars, proving that peace in the Frost household might have always been an illusion. On social media, chaos erupted. Viewers who once defended Kirk flooded comment sections with anger. Rasheeda's fans sent her messages of heartbreak and solidarity. And Mendeecees, he was trending like never before, hailed as the man who finally said what everyone had been thinking. But here's the key. People close to the situation swear this wasn't a slip of the tongue. Mendeecees didn't stumble into this moment. He calculated it. He knew exactly which nerve to hit, exactly which words would slice through the Frost's image, and exactly how to make sure his revelation would dominate headlines. And judging by the fallout, he succeeded, because while the cameras captured one bombshell, the whispers suggest there's more, much more, simmering beneath the surface. If Mendeecees was willing to air this secret in public, what else does he know? And how deep do Kirk and Rasheeda's cracks really go? The room was calm one second and pure chaos the next. What was supposed to be a simple sit-down turned into a moment fans are already calling one of the most jaw-dropping clashes in love and hip-hop Atlanta history. Mendeecees leaned forward, his tone sharp, his words deliberate. And then, boom, the bombshell hit. He didn't just talk about Kirk's past infidelities. That would have been too easy, too predictable. Instead, Mendeecees claimed he had receipts, shocking information that tied Kirk to a brand new scandal that no one, not even Rasheeda, was prepared for. The words landed like daggers. Y'all want to play perfect for the cameras, but I know what you've been hiding. Kirk hasn't just been creeping, he's been sneaking around with someone close. And Rasheeda, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The air froze. Rasheeda's eyes widened. Kirk shifted uncomfortably, and the entire table erupted in gasps. Producers, cast members, even the camera crew looked like they couldn't believe what had just been said. And then Mendeecees twisted the knife. He claimed that not only was Kirk allegedly still cheating, but that one of his alleged side connections involved someone who had been working with the Frost family on their business ventures. It wasn't just personal, it was professional. It wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. If true, Kirk hadn't just jeopardized his marriage. He'd jeopardized Rasheeda's empire. The reactions were immediate and brutal. Rasheeda's face hardened. Her body tensed as if she was holding back tears and rage at the same time. Kirk, on the other hand, stammered, tried to laugh it off, muttering, "Man, don't nobody believe that?" But his body language betrayed him. His eyes darted, his voice cracked, and the more he denied, the more guilty he looked. Other cast members couldn't sit still. One insider claimed Yandy muttered, "Oh no, not again," under her breath, while another swore Sierra looked like she was about to spill her drink from shock. The room buzzed with whispers. Is this real? Who's he talking about? Did he really just say that? The first twist came when Mendeecees hinted he wasn't just speaking out of thin air. He claimed to have seen messages late night, texts, money transfers, and even location check-ins that painted a picture of betrayal Rasheeda had no clue about. According to him, people in their own circle had been talking. And he was just the one brave enough to say it out loud. Social media went into meltdown mode the second the clip hit the airwaves. Twitter timelines lit up with posts like "Not Mendeecees exposing Kirk again," and "Rasheeda deserves better." This is too much. Within hours, hashtags like #Mendeecees exposes Kirk, #RASHEED a bombshell, and #Kirk exposed again were trending. But it didn't stop there. TikTok creators jumped on the moment, looping Mendeecees' words with dramatic music, adding captions like, "When the truth finally comes out." Instagram blogs lit up, posting side-by-side photos of Kirk with various women from the cast and business circle, speculating who the close connection could be. Fans weren't just shocked, they were obsessed. Meanwhile, insiders whispered that Rasheeda stormed out immediately after filming, refusing to even look at Kirk. One producer reportedly said she looked like she was done. Not TV done, but real life done. The fallout extended far beyond the show. Rasheeda's boutique's Instagram page was flooded with comments of support, while Kirk's business pages were bombarded with clown emojis and cheater memes. Fans called for Rasheeda to finally leave him. claiming Mendeecees had just confirmed what they always suspected. Kirk would never change. And then came the real kicker. Whispers that Mendeecees wasn't done, according to one anonymous cast member. Mendeecees had even more information he didn't reveal on camera. He dropped just enough to set the world on fire. But insiders swear he's holding on to receipts that could completely destroy Kirk's credibility once and for all. If that's true, this bombshell wasn't the end. It was the opening shot of something much, much bigger. The first twist wasn't just the accusation. It was the realization that the Frost's carefully curated image of survival and forgiveness might finally be unraveling, and the man tearing it all apart wasn't an enemy, but someone they considered part of their extended reality TV family. The bombshell was already nuclear. But what came after turned the entire hip-hop reality world upside down the moment the episode aired. Fans went into detective mode. Twitter threads dissected Mendeecees' every word. Instagram gossip pages posted screenshots, and TikTok creators zoomed in on Kirk's awkward reaction, light-reading his muttered denials as if they were clues in a crime scene. Within hours, hashtags like #KirkExposed, #RasheedaDesvers, and #Mendeecees trended globally, and then the escalation hit. Alleged receipts. Anonymous accounts began dropping screenshots that they claimed proved Mendeecees wasn't bluffing. One image showed supposed late-night text exchanges between Kirk and a woman identified only as T. The messages were vague emojis, location pins, and flirty lines, but fans instantly connected the dots, speculating that T was someone tied to Rasheeda's boutique. Another screenshot circulated showing what appeared to be a Cash App payment from KF, with the note "Just Cause." Were these receipts real? Nobody could prove it, but the timing was too perfect. Kirk's face from the confrontation was already viral, and the so-called leaks made his denials look even weaker. Fans piled on, commenting, "We don't need Maury. The internet already confirmed it." Rasheeda, usually quick to post motivational quotes after drama, went silent. Her Instagram stories, normally filled with fashion drops, family updates, and boutique promos, went completely dark. That silence spoke louder than words. Supporters flooded her last post with messages like, "Sis, leave him and we're with you no matter what." Meanwhile, Kirk tried to do damage control. In a shaky Instagram live, he called the rumors fake news and accused Mendeecees of trying to stir up drama for ratings. But the live backfired. Viewers pointed out how defensive he looked, how his eyes darted off screen like he was checking cues, and how his voice cracked every time he said lie. Clips of the live were chopped up, memed, and mocked across platforms. One viral caption summed it up: "If lying was a sport, Kirk would have the gold medal." But then came the shocking reveal. Insiders leaked that Mendeecees hadn't even revealed the full story on camera. According to whispers from the production team, he had shown producers actual evidence before filming, but they were so explosive, the network held back, waiting to see how far they could push the narrative without crossing legal lines. That revelation set social media on fire. Fans demanded to see the uncut footage, flooding VH1's accounts with comments like, "Drop the tapes," and "We want the receipts now." To make things worse, another rumor surfaced. The woman Mendeecees hinted at wasn't just close to Rasheeda. She was allegedly a longtime family friend. That detail alone sent shockwaves through the fandom. Betrayal from a stranger was bad enough, but betrayal involving someone Rasheeda trusted like family, that was next-level devastation. Suddenly, speculation wasn't just about Kirk. Fans began naming names, pointing fingers at anyone in Rasheeda's circle who fit the vague profile. Innocent friends and associates were dragged into the chaos. Their pictures plastered across gossip blogs, their comments flooded with accusations. The fallout was messy, and it was only getting uglier. Meanwhile, Mendeecees doubled down. On social media, he posted a cryptic story, a black screen with the words, "The truth don't need defending." No names, no details, but everyone knew what he meant. The post went viral instantly, fueling theories that he was sitting on more evidence and daring Kirk to deny him again. And then, the internet delivered its own shocking twist. A TikTok user claimed to have overheard Kirk at an Atlanta lounge, arguing on the phone with someone about keeping her mouth shut. The video was grainy, the audio muffled, but the caption is this: Kirk trying to cover up the bombshell. Went viral overnight. Fans debated whether the man in the video was Kirk at all. But the narrative had already taken off. By the end of the week, what started as a bombshell in one room had exploded into a full-blown scandal across every platform. Rasheeda's silence, Kirk's shaky denial, Mendeecees' cryptic post, and the flood of receipts created a storm too big to contain. And the scariest part? Whispers from insiders suggest Mendeecees is ready to drop even more. Allegedly, he's told producers, if they don't admit it, I'll bring everything. That chilling promise has fans bracing for another revelation, one that could end Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage for good, and possibly fracture alliances across the entire Love and Hip Hop cast. Because if this was just the first bombshell, what's still hiding in Mendeecees' back pocket? The second Mendeecees bombshell hit the airwaves. The internet didn't just react, it erupted. Twitter became ground zero for the chaos. Hashtags like #Kirk exposed again, #RASHEEDA deserves better, and #Mendeecees bombshell trended for hours. Fans replayed the clip on loop, analyzing every detail: Kirk's awkward body language, Rasheeda's icy glare, and Mendeecees' calm delivery. One viral tweet read, Kirk Frost has been caught more times than my Wi-Fi dropping, and Rasheeda still gives him a pass. Another. Mendeecees said what we've all been thinking for years. Kirk ain't never gonna change. But it wasn't just fans. Celebrities and fellow reality stars joined the fray. Cardi B jumped on Instagram Live, laughing as she said, "Not Kirk caught up again. Rasheeda girl, how many times you gonna let this man embarrass you?" Tamar Braxton chimed in with a cryptic tweet. The truth always comes out, especially when you least expect it. Even Lil Scrappy couldn't resist posting a laughing emoji under a Shade Room clip that racked up millions of views. On TikTok, creators had a field day. Dozens of edits went viral, dramatic slow-motion clips of Kirk fidgeting, Rasheeda's shocked expression set to sad R&B tracks, and Mendeecees' words remixed into trending audios. One creator even staged a skit where they played both Rasheeda and Kirk. Caption A: When Mendeecees airs out your man's dirty laundry at brunch. The video crossed 3 million views overnight. 3 million views overnight. Meanwhile, the blogs had a feast. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and It's On Site posted side-by-side photos of Rasheeda and Kirk with headlines like, Mendeecees claims Kirk still cheating, Rasheeda silent. Comment sections exploded with thousands of fans debating whether Rasheeda should finally walk away. Some declared her the ultimate redor-die, while others begged her to stop humiliating herself. And then came the industry. Whispers. Insiders claimed that Kirk's reputation was tanking behind the scenes. Business associates allegedly expressed hesitation about continuing partnerships with the Frosts' ventures, worried the scandal would drag down their brands. One Atlanta promoter reportedly said, every time we book Kirk, there's drama. At some point, the mess overshadows the money. At the same time, Rasheeda was flooded with sympathy offers. Fans flooded her boutique's online store, buying out merch in a show of support. Celebrities like Candy Burroughs and Tiny Harris allegedly reached out privately, urging her to focus on her brand and not the betrayal. But the wildest reaction came from inside the Love and Hip-Hop circle. Erica Mena, never one to miss a messy moment, jumped into the conversation with an Instagram story. Some of y'all finally seeing what we've been new. Protect Rasheeda at all costs. Sierra followed with her own post. Friends don't deserve to be embarrassed like this, period. Fans immediately speculated that more cast members might be preparing to take sides, turning this scandal into a full-on cast war, and just when it couldn't get any messier, Fake leaks started flooding in. Screenshots circulated online claiming to show Rasheeda deeming friends about packing her bags and being done for good. Others showed alleged emails between Kirk and a boutique employee, fueling speculation about who the mystery woman might be. Most of these receipts were debunked, but the internet didn't care. The narrative had already spiraled. Kirk was guilty until proven innocent. The division among fans was brutal. Half of the internet begged Rasheeda to leave, sis. You're too beautiful, too talented, too successful for this nonsense. The other half accused Mendeecees of stirring drama for clout. Why he inserting himself in someone else's marriage? He should worry about Yandhi. The debates only kept the story trending, ensuring it stayed at the top of feeds for days. And the kicker: ratings for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reportedly spiked overnight. Viewers who hadn't tuned in for years rushed back to see the scandal unfold. Insiders leaked that producers were scrambling to re-edit upcoming episodes to capitalize on the frenzy. One source even teased, if you think Mendeecees' first bombshell was wild, just wait. He didn't reveal everything. The public wasn't just reacting, they were bracing for more. Because if this was only the first round, the next could be catastrophic for Rasheeda and Kirk's already fragile marriage. And fans knew it. One viral post summed it up perfectly. This ain't a bombshell. It's the beginning of a nuclear war. Just when fans thought the drama couldn't get any messier, the situation took a shocking new turn, one that pulled even more names into the fire and left Rasheeda and Kirk's world hanging by a thread. It started with a leak. A gossip page posted blurry screenshots allegedly showing Kirk exchanging late-night messages with a woman fans instantly recognized as someone who had been featured briefly on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta seasons ago. The texts were vague, but the timestamps 2:14 a.m., 3:27 a.m., and the emojis heart, eyes, lips, and the infamous devil emoji told their own story. The captions simply read, "Mendeecees wasn't lying. The proof is here." Within minutes, the screenshots spread like wildfire. Fans dissected every pixel, zooming in, comparing font sizes, even analyzing the wallpaper in the background. Some insisted they were doctored, while others swore they were real. Either way, the damage was done. Kirk's name was officially tied to yet another alleged scandal. And this time, there were visuals, but the real twist came when a new player entered the chat, Yandhi, in a cryptic Instagram live. Yandhi said, "Sometimes when you open your mouth about somebody else's marriage, you end up exposing things you weren't ready for." Fans immediately speculated she was hinting that Mendeecees' bombshell wasn't as clean as it seemed. Did Yandhi know something about his motives? Or worse, did she know even more about Kirk and Rasheeda's situation that hadn't yet been said? The plot thickened further when an insider claimed producers were sitting on even more explosive footage. According to whispers, Mendeecees had dropped an even bigger name during filming, someone directly tied to Rasheeda's boutique business. But that footage was allegedly cut at the last minute for legal reasons. Fans began demanding, "Release the uncut footage." And Rasheeda, she finally broke her silence late one night. She posted a single Instagram story, a black screen with the words, "Don't play with my family. What's done in the dark always comes to light." The post sent shockwaves through her fan base. Was she aiming at Kirk? At Mendeecees? Or at the mystery woman allegedly tied to the scandal? No one knew for sure, but the ambiguity only fueled the frenzy. Meanwhile, Kirk went underground. No posts, no lives, no comments. For a man who usually defends himself immediately, the silence was deafening. Fans interpreted it as guilt. Blogs ran headlines like, "Kirk Frost missing in action as scandal explodes." Memes flooded timelines with captions like, "Silence was an admission. Kirk just confessed." The cliffhanger hit when Mendeecees posted one more cryptic message. "That wasn't the only bomb I got. Y'all not ready for the rest?" Fans lost their minds. Was he holding more receipts? Did he know of other women? Or, as some speculated, was he about to expose Rasheeda herself in some way? Theories spiraled out of control. one thing was clear. The drama had shifted from a single revelation to a full-blown saga that could fracture friendships, destroy reputations, and change the dynamic of the entire Love and Hip Hop cast. Because if Mendeecees has another bombshell waiting in the wings, it's not just Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage on the line, it's the future of the entire Atlanta circle. And now the question is, who's going to get exposed next? And just like that, what started as a casual sit-down has erupted into one of the most shocking scandals Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has ever seen. Mendeecees didn't just drop a bombshell. He lit a fuse that's still burning. Kirk's silence is deafening. Rasheeda's cryptic warning has fans on edge. And Mendeecees himself is teasing that there's still more truth to come. But now it's your turn, do you think? Mendeecees was genuinely exposing the truth? Or was he stirring the pot for his own spotlight? Was Kirk really caught in yet another betrayal? Or are these receipts nothing more than smoke and mirrors? And most importantly, should Rasheeda finally walk away after years of humiliation? Or is this another storm she weathered in the name of love and loyalty? The internet is already divided. Some say Mendeecees is the hero we didn't know we needed, finally putting Kirk in his place. Others accuse him of overstepping, dragging Rasheeda into unnecessary pain. The only thing everyone agrees on: this story is far from over. So tell us in the comments, is this the end of Rasheeda and Kirk, or just the beginning of the ugliest chapter yet? Smash that like button if you think Rasheeda deserves better. And hit subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next bombshell when it drops. Because if this was only round one, imagine the chaos when Mendeecees drops the rest of what he's holding back. Stay locked in, because Atlanta has never been messier, and this firestorm is only just beginning. Firestorm is only just beginning.